Covering news where you live, this is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. At least 5 people are dead and multiple others injured from tornadoes that ripped through parts of Arkansas on Friday. Governor Sanders requested a major disaster declaration this weekend, and it was approved by President Biden. You're seeing video here of storm damage right there from the ground. The storm left several areas with infrastructure damage, debris, and countless homes destroyed in Pulaski, Lonoke counties. Biden has promised that the federal government is going to stay as long as it takes and promised 100% debris removal in several other states that were impacted by this deadly storm. The declaration will provide Arkansas with assistance, as we mentioned, in Cross, Lonoke, and Pulaski counties. It will also provide direct federal assistance and hazard mitigation efforts across the state. President Biden also directing FEMA to assess the damage in the Little Rock area. They'll be checking in with neighbors and helping out where they can today. Arkansas Lieutenant Governor Leslie Rutledge toured the damage with FEMA on Sunday and says the response has been incredible.
Whether it's North Little Rock, Jacksonville, Wynne, Sherwood, or right here in Little Rock, Arkansas truly is one big small town. And we are out in full force, picking up the pieces, putting these lives back together.
All right, before we get to other news, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. And Zach, the tornadoes, the weather that tore through this area, pretty powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, those storms started in our area and then rolled east. That was Friday. Now we're talking about another setup not far off from what we saw on Friday. We've got a big storm system coming in from the west coast and 2 big bullseyes. That's what we had. We had one big one up around Iowa, Missouri, Illinois. The other one was Memphis to Little Rock. We've got the bullseye to the north again on Tuesday. Yeah, we're talking about that chance of severe weather rolling back in our area that quickly. Late Tuesday, there'll be a bullseye, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois again, and then another one in Arkansas. This time it could be the western half of the state. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. For today, though, your Monday, well, what a warm up. We're talking about temperatures jumping into the 80s across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Mostly low to mid 80s northwest Arkansas. I think will be mid to even some upper 80s in the River Valley going to be possible. And if you're wondering, well, is that a record for this time of year? It's potentially is. Today, Fayetteville has the better shot to get there. I think the record's 84 degrees in 2011, and I think we're going to get up there around 85. So Fayetteville's got a great shot to beat the record, at least tie it. We are at the very least near record territory for today. Fort Smith's got some work to do. Record's up there, same day set back in 2011, but we've got you getting close to it. Right now, I've got you up around 87 degrees. South winds came back yesterday, Sunday, and those south winds going to stay strong for your Monday and your Tuesday, bringing in warmer air, more moisture in the air too. That'll be fuel for the next storm system. Winds for your Monday sustained 10 to 20, gusting 25 to 30. And then look at this, we continue to warm, only falling into the 60s going into Tuesday morning. Again, this is out ahead of our next storm system. We'll have again very similar picture and setup for what we saw on Friday. Bullseye to the north, another bullseye for Arkansas, this time more the central and western half of the state. We're going to be tracking likely a cold front coming in from the north, and we're going to watch the chance for some isolated supercells, rotating thunderstorms to get going. 2 waves we'll watch, one during the late afternoon, early evening hours, and then we'll watch as the front comes in during the overnight hours, some more showers and thunderstorms. Not everyone's going to see severe weather, but storms that can get going late Tuesday will be in a very unstable environment with lots of fuel to work with, and they will have the potential to produce damaging hail, damaging wind gusts, and a few strong tornadoes. We'll continue to track that over the next couple of days, Joe.
All right, thanks so much, Zach. Well, sheepdog impact assistance out of Rogers leaving today for the Little Rock area to assist there with that tornado recovery. The disaster response team plans to be there, they say, until Thursday or Friday. And as we continue to see and hear about the impact of the tornadoes, we're also seeing Arkansans' willingness to help. From 9 to about 11:30 Sunday morning, the group Together Fort Smith held an event to gather donations this weekend. Now, this happened outside of the Walmart on Zero. The group filled a U-Haul with just about everything from canned goods to cleaning supplies. The group then drove to Little Rock to the Arlington apartments to hand out products to those that were impacted by this storm damage. And you might have heard about a lot of black smoke near the Hope campus yesterday in Fort Smith. This is video sent to us by a 5 News viewer across from the facility on Southeast Street. Fire crews tell us that the fire started as a brush fire, but it made its way to 2 large piles of railroad ties. Fort Smith Fire also tells us the wood there was coated with oil in order to preserve it, which created a lot of that black smoke. And after months of speculation, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson officially announcing he's running for president. Hutchinson has spent the past few months visiting battleground states, hinting at a possible run. He announced it earlier on an interview with ABC's This Week.
I have made a decision, and my decision is I'm going to run for president of the United States. While the formal announcement will be later in April in Bentonville, I wanted to make clear that to you, Jonathan, I am going to be running.
Now, Asa joins former President Trump and the other candidates you see here that will be running on that Republican ticket. Well, tax season is coming to an end. If you haven't done your taxes yet, you have until April 18th to complete them, unless you filed for an extension. If you need that extra time to file, then you must file Form 4868 to receive an automatic 6-month extension. There are several ways to e-file your taxes this year, including through IRS Free File and TurboTax. And this morning, after helping hundreds post bond, a nationwide nonprofit is saying goodbye to Arkansas. 5 News reporter Michael Wilson tells us why and how others are stepping up to continue the work.
I think they've made a big difference in the lives of a lot of people who weren't able to, have the cash to post bond.
Beth Coker with the Arkansas Justice Reform Coalition says since 2019, the Bell Project has helped 600 people in Washington and Benton counties post bond of up to $10,000.
Over that period of time, those 600 people returned to 92% of their court dates with no money on the line. And so that, to us, is success.
A success that Jeremy Chersin, the director of communications for the Bell Project, says makes the argument that cash bail should not exist and that there can be an effective pretrial solution.
We connect them to voluntary supportive services like court notifications, travel assistance, and referrals to various supportive services like behavioral health treatments, like substance abuse treatment or mental health treatments, and employment assistance, that kind of thing.
The Bell Project, a New York-based nonprofit, is now prepping to end its work in Arkansas, which Chersin says is working out the way it's supposed to.
We're built not to last. It's never meant to be a permanent solution. It's really meant as a kind of demonstration of the fact that people can succeed pre-trial without having to pay bail themselves.
They've been a real asset to our community and to the people in our community.
But before the Bell Project makes its exit in Arkansas, the nonprofit says it's already working with local nonprofits like the Arkansas Justice Reform Coalition to fill the gap.
We also need mental health court. And there's been talk of getting a mental health court in Washington County.
Something Benton County is already taking steps towards funding.
This particular grant would be for 3 years. We would get $100,000 for the first year as part of the implementation, and then for the next 2 years, we would get $225,000 per year.
That was Micah Wilson reporting. Those are some of your top stories on this Monday. Make sure you catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more. Have a great day.